The 2024 annual flood outlook has warned of a high flood risk between April and November this year, with 148 local government areas in 31 states classified as high flood risk areas, and parts of the 249 local government areas in 36 states and the FCT falling within moderate flood risk areas. The recurring threat of flooding has raised concerns about Nigeria's preparedness to tackle climate challenges. Desmond Majekudumi, founder of Lufasi Nature Park, shed light on the current state of readiness and Nigeria's response to climate issues during an interview on CNBC Africa.
Amount of rainfall, the amount of flooding that this intensity of rainfall is going to cause has increased tremendously, and it's basic simple science because there's more heat. 2023, hottest year ever recorded by humanity ever. And even the months January, February, March, individually hottest months ever recorded. And more heat on water, more evaporation. Planet Earth is actually 70% water. We got a whole lot of ocean, a whole lot of seas, lakes and rivers, and this water is evaporating because it's hotter. And if you have more evaporation, you're going to have more rain falling, and this is exactly what's happening. So we're not ready. We're definitely not ready. It's very unfortunate. Look what happened in Dubai. In fact, they don't even call it rainfall anymore in certain cases. It's a rain bomb. It's a rain bomb because Dubai, 1.5 years rain falling in just 24 hours. People were saying, cloud seeding and all this. The main cause of it was the extra heat causing this evaporation and then certain types of wind currents, because if you have a warm air, it moves the water moisture a little bit higher, and when it gets high enough, it condenses. So meteorological organizations have warned us, but we are not heeding the warning the way we really, really need to. It's very worrying.
Despite these clear warning signs, Nigeria remains inadequately equipped to handle the growing risk of flooding. In view of this warning, Roots TV sought to find out how prepared the people living in flood-prone districts of the FCT are. We speak with the chairman of Residents Association of Trademore Estate Phase 3, Mr. Lucky Sawode. He shares that the residents have taken proactive measures to mitigate the flood risk. But first, he says, he has to correct the impression that there is an annual flooding in Trademore Estate.
But people will say, no, Trademore is a flood zone, is a disaster zone. Is not true. The owner of Trademore, the developer of Trademore, did not just wake up overnight and build Trademore. And so when we now discover the challenge on our own as Residents Association of Trademore, we confronted the owner of the place. He said, we said there is no way FCDA can give you a location that your fence will now be in the middle of the river and you have blocked the water channel. So when the water hits your fence, it comes back into Trademore. And beyond the bridge, we even went further and we saw that when we're tracing the destruction, the level of destruction along that route, we discovered that a lot of new estates have built outside Trademore also and narrowed the water path. And having done that, water will always find its way. The water comes back into Trademore because that point, that where our phase 2 gate is a lower plain. So the water gathers there and begins to flow back to cause destruction. So that's why I said Trademore does not have an annual flood problem. We've experienced flash floods. And for this year, after that June 23rd flooding of last year, 2023, we are more than prepared. We've engaged the developer who has also further dredged the water channel, created more paths for the water to flow, and we're also sensitizing residents on the need to keep all channels free of debris so that water does not gather anywhere.
Mr. Lucky explains the concerted efforts of the residents and estate developers to dredge the river that flows through the estate, and has also launched a sensitization campaign to educate residents on the importance of not throwing debris into the waterways. He takes us around the estate to show that with these measures in place, The chairman expressed confidence that the estate is well prepared to face the impending flood season.
So the government did not come in, but right now we have engaged the Ecological Fund of the Office of the Presidency and the Ministry of Environment. We've engaged them. They are also assisting us. And we told them another issue that needs to be addressed is the bridge right in front of Phase 2 gates. When the bridge was being built by the Ecological Fund Office, we told them that that bridge is not being properly constructed because the rings under the bridge are too small for the volume of water passing through this place. And so when it gets there, the water hits the culvert, it bounces back. We need to expand it. But I'm not an engineer, and some of us are not engineers. They felt they know what they are doing. And we've seen the effects that what they have done, they have not done the right thing. So that bridge will need to be reconstructed so that water can flow underneath the bridge properly, easily, without any hindrance.
Another resident, Segun Akinjedi, expressed a similar sentiment, acknowledging that the residents have made efforts to implement measures to safeguard the estate from flooding. He, however, stressed that there are limitations to what residents can do on their own. He urged the government to take a more effective approach by expanding the waterways rather than resorting to demolishing houses, which has proven to be an ineffective solution to the flood challenge.
I must say it's a sustainable effort. We have not stopped since then. We've also been clearing the waterways of debris, bottle, all of those shrubs from trees, because this water comes from all the way from Lokogoma, and it's massive when it's trying to come through here. It passes through Piakasa, for example, where you have a lot of buildings which are not as structured as Trademore, and they dump refugees in waterways. It all finds its way to want to go through here. So sometimes this creates a lot of challenge for us, and those areas are also areas that development control need to take charge to ensure that they make provisions like Lube Zone 9 and these other other shanties and those buildings. They need to assist them to be able to. I know in areas like Lagos in those days, they put a very big bin somewhere in the community and encourage people to use those places. They help them with facilities, so they don't have to resort to self-help in terms of trying to dispose of their waste by themselves. It creates a lot of problem for us. If rain falls, it doesn't stop there. It comes here. And then we have to periodically be doing this. So in terms of being sustainable, yes, it's been, we've done a lot and it's been helpful, but government still need to go beyond Trademore. And that is because the water is coming from Lokogoma and it's going outside of here to River Park area and up onto Goza. They need to work on that channel. We cannot from here. That is beyond us. They need to also put in some effort. They need to shift their attention away from, this destructive way of solving a small problem, demolitions and all of that. And for once, look at, they have agencies that are supposed to have engineers and people who can constructively deal with issues like this. Like I said, cutting off the head is not a solution.
Chief Leku and Barnabas, both residents of Trademore Estate, hold a strong conviction that their estate was not constructed on waterways. Instead, they assert that it is the newly built structures in the surrounding areas that are encroaching on the waterways. Furthermore, they allege that even the government is aware of this issue.
When we started this estate, you see this river, we use leg to cross it. Until Voice of Nigeria, there is a state, Voice of Nigeria state there. I think it's either Obasanjo or something like Goodluck Jonathan, or they had relation, with them. That they go and block the waterway. If you see this bridge, there is a bridge there. The first bridge after that Voice of Nigeria gate, there's a bridge there. That bridge, river, water flow it off and on every time. When immediately they block that place, all the water from there will flow from and divert to this small river. It was a small river then. Then that time, all this, you can see all these buildings. You can see this building here. Nothing like that. And the people, the government, they know it's not right to build house on water. Look at, it's on the waterway.
The fundamental issue is people building around waterways outside the estate, from Lokogoma down. They build and block drainages. Okay, so that sort of once in a while affect us. We've had 2 major rains here this year. Now, did you see any flooding? No. So it's from outside the estate. If it's corrected from outside, like most of the people that build on waterways, build on drainage outside from Lokogoma down, if it's corrected, you will never hear any issue of flooding here. The developer too is trying. Look at how he has controlled, he has built, did drainages and all of that. So largely he has tried to manage the situation to a very great extent. You know, that's why we've not had any issue. So I don't think Trademore has any issue of flooding.
Residents of Trademore Estate who bore the brunt of the 2023 flood are emphatic that they are now better prepared. However, they also urge the government to take action by clearing the waterways to ensure unobstructed water flow as the rainy season intensifies. By doing so, they hope to avoid a repeat of devastating flooding that affected them in 2023 and in 2022.